You can't fake true love. You can't force it, you can't buy it, and you can't manipulate it, because real love isn't loud. It's consistent. It's not built on promises made in passion, but on actions proven in peace. Too many people confuse chemistry with connection and attraction with affection. But true love, it's different. It's steady. It's quiet strength. And if you pay close enough attention, you'll see it. Not in the grand gestures, but in the smallest moments that mean everything. Anybody can love you when life feels easy, when you're smiling, when things are light, when you're not carrying too much. That's the easy part. That's the version of love most people know, the kind that shows up when it's convenient, when it doesn't cost anything. But true love shows up when it's hard, when the shine fades, when you're not your best, when you're tired, frustrated, or even lost. That's where the difference shows. See, it's easy to say, "I love you," when the mood is right. But it's a whole different thing to prove it when emotions run high, when misunderstandings happen, or when the other person isn't easy to love that day. True love doesn't pack up when things get uncomfortable. It doesn't retreat just because the moment isn't perfect. It stays. It chooses you even when choosing you comes with challenges. That's the kind of love that builds something real. Think about it. Anyone can stand beside you in sunshine, but who's still there when it rains? The one who wipes your tears instead of causing them. The one who listens when you're not even making sense because they care more about your heart than your words. That's love. That's what loyalty looks like in its purest form. Because real love doesn't look for the door when things get messy. It rolls up its sleeves and says, "We'll figure this out." There's a quiet strength in that. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about being there, being steady, being safe. Sometimes true love isn't about having all the answers. It's about not walking away while you're still looking for them together. It's being willing to stay in the hard conversations, to sit in the silence, to forgive when it's not easy, when life tests you, and it will. True love shows up differently. It's not about grand gestures or perfect moments. It's the steady heartbeat beside you when everything feels uncertain. It's the person who reminds you who you are when you've forgotten. It's the voice that says, "You're not alone," and means it. And here's the truth. Love that only works when everything's smooth isn't love. It's comfort. It's convenience. But true love has depth. It endures friction. It's built through storms, not around them. That's why the relationships that last aren't the ones that never struggle. They're the ones that don't give up in the middle of it. Sometimes we mistake the absence of problems for the presence of love. But love doesn't prove itself in peace. It proves itself in persistence. It's the way someone stays patient when you're overwhelmed. The way they see your flaws and don't hold them against you. The way they choose you again and again, even when it would be easier not to. That's what makes it real. Because true love isn't a feeling that comes and goes. It's a decision that stays steady through highs and lows. It's not perfect. It's not always pretty. But it's real. And that kind of love doesn't just comfort you. It changes you. It makes you braver, softer, stronger. So when you find that kind of love, the one that shows up when it's hard, don't take it for granted. Because that's not just love. That's rare. That's sacred. That's the kind of love that outlasts everything else. True love isn't about always feeling good. It's not about constant butterflies or sweet words that sound nice in the moment. True love protects your peace, not just your feelings. And sometimes that means hearing things you don't want to hear. Because love that's real doesn't just want you happy. It wants you healthy. It's not about keeping everything calm on the surface while chaos brews underneath. It's about doing the hard work to make sure what you have is real, solid, and safe. See, anyone can tell you what makes you feel good. But the person who truly loves you will tell you what you need to hear, even when it's uncomfortable. They won't let you drown in your own silence just to avoid conflict. They won't nod along when something's off. They'll speak truth, kindly, but directly, because they care too much about your peace to let you live in pretense. True love values your long-term well-being over temporary comfort. And that's the difference between love that flatters you and love that grows you. Love that flatters you says, "You're fine, everything's fine," even when it's not. But true love says, "Hey, something's not right. Let's talk about it. It might sting. It might shake you for a moment." But that's because truth, when it comes from love, isn't meant to hurt. It's meant to heal. Protecting your peace doesn't mean avoiding conflict. It means handling it with respect. It means learning how to talk instead of attack, how to listen instead of defend. It means understanding that silence can be louder than yelling, and that peace doesn't come from pretending, but from being honest. True love doesn't bring drama into your life. It removes it. It's not about constant reassurance. It's about consistency. It's not about fixing every problem instantly. It's about facing them together calmly. When someone truly loves you, they don't play games with your emotions. They don't make you question your worth or your sanity. They don't manipulate you into peace by keeping you quiet. No, true love makes you feel safe enough to speak, to be honest, to be real. You don't have to shrink yourself to keep the peace. You don't have to hide parts of who you are to avoid setting them off. You can exhale. You can be you. And that's what real peace feels like in love. It's not the absence of disagreement. It's the presence of respect. It's knowing that even in disagreement, there's no disrespect. It's being able to express yourself without fear of being dismissed or devalued. It's the trust that no matter how heavy the moment gets, you're still on the same side. Too many people chase relationships that make them feel excited but not secure. They confuse chaos for passion, arguments for connection, tension for care. But real love doesn't drain you, it settles you. It's not the storm, it's the shelter. It's the deep breath after a long day, the place where your mind and heart finally rest. And when you find that kind of love, you start realizing peace isn't boring, it's priceless. You start valuing calm over constant highs, truth over temporary validation, stillness over noise. Because when love protects your peace, it doesn't just make your life easier, it makes your life fuller. That's the kind of love you hold on to. The kind that speaks truth with kindness, that respects your boundaries, and that values your inner calm as much as your smile. Because at the end of the day, true love doesn't just care about how you feel, it cares about who you become. When something feels off, true love doesn't go quiet. It doesn't retreat into silence, hoping time will fix what words could have healed. It leans in, it speaks up. Because love that's real doesn't fear communication, it depends on it. The strongest relationships aren't built on perfection, they're built on understanding. And understanding can't exist without honesty. See, a lot of people mistake silence for peace. They think if they just don't bring it up, it'll go away. But what silence really does is build distance. Every unspoken truth becomes a brick. And before you know it, you've built a wall between you and the person you care about most. True love doesn't build walls. It builds bridges, even when those bridges are hard to cross. It's not always comfortable. Sometimes love looks like sitting in the middle of an awkward conversation, heart pounding, trying to find the right words to say what's been sitting heavy on your chest. It looks like staying present when you'd rather shut down. It looks like saying, "I don't know how to fix this, but I care enough to try." Because love that avoids conflict isn't protecting you. It's avoiding growth. When you truly love someone, you want clarity more than comfort. You'd rather talk through the mess than pretend it's not there. Because love that's worth having is love that's worth working for. It's not about winning arguments, it's about winning together. It's about listening to understand, not listening just to respond. It's about learning how to pause instead of react, how to express instead of explode. Real communication in love takes courage. It takes vulnerability to say, "That hurt me," or "I need this," or I don't feel seen right now. It takes maturity to listen without getting defensive. And it takes humility to admit when you're wrong. But that's where connection grows, in the honesty, in the transparency, in the willingness to see the other person's heart, not just their words. And sometimes communication isn't even about fixing the problem, it's about simply being heard. True love creates space for that. It lets you be open without fear of being punished for your truth. It's the safety of knowing that no matter how hard the conversation gets, you're not going to be thrown away because of it. That's what gives love depth. That's what turns two people into a team. You can tell a lot about love by how it handles discomfort. Some people shut down, some people run. But the ones who stay and talk, the ones who say, let's figure this out, those are the ones who are building something that lasts. Because love isn't about avoiding pain, it's about facing it together. It's knowing that the problem isn't you versus them, it's both of you versus what's trying to divide you. And that's what makes true love so rare. It's not afraid of honesty. It's not scared of the hard talks, the vulnerable moments, the emotional truths. It understands that communication is how love breathes. Without it, love suffocates. With it, love expands. So, if someone is willing to sit with you, listen to you, and work through the tough stuff with you, not to win, not to control, but to understand, you've found something real. Because true love doesn't run from uncomfortable conversations. It runs toward them, and that's how it survives. True love sees you. Not the version of you that you show the world, not the highlight reel you post, but the raw, unfiltered, perfectly imperfect you. It sees beyond your habits, beyond your moods, beyond the layers you've built to protect yourself. It notices the things most people overlook. The way you go quiet when you're hurt, the way you downplay your needs, because you don't want to seem too much, the way you try to stay strong even when you're tired. True love doesn't need the performance. It just needs you. We live in a world where people fall for images, not individuals, where attraction often replaces connection. But true love cuts deeper than that. It's not about how well you fit into someone's idea of perfect. It's about being known completely and still being chosen. Because it's easy to love someone's best sides, the laughter, the confidence, the charm. But it takes something real to love someone through their doubts, their scars, their quiet insecurities. That's where love proves itself. When someone truly sees you, they don't just admire your strengths, they understand your struggles. They don't run when they meet your broken pieces. They handle them with care. They don't try to change you to make you easier to love. They grow with you to make the love stronger. And there's something powerful about being loved like that. Because for once, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to constantly prove your worth. You can just be. See, real love doesn't require you to earn it. It doesn't keep score. It's not conditional on your success or your moods. It's there when you're up and when you're down. It's the kind of love that says, I see your flaws, but they don't scare me. I see your past, but it doesn't define you. I see who you are, and I still choose you. That's not blind love. It's the clearest kind of love there is. And here's the truth. When someone really sees you, they also hold you accountable. Because love that sees clearly doesn't enable your patterns, it encourages your progress. It knows when to comfort you, but also when to challenge you. It says, I know you can do better because I see what's in you. That's the kind of love that doesn't just stay. It strengthens. So many people chase love that looks good instead of love that feels safe. But being seen is what makes love safe. It's when someone looks past your defenses and still says, you're worth staying for. That's not fantasy. That's depth. That's partnership. It's the peace that comes when you realize you don't have to hide anymore. You can drop the mask, release the act, and just exist as yourself, and they still choose to stay. And when you're loved like that, it changes you. You start to see yourself differently. You start to believe in your own worth, not because someone told you you're special, but because they proved it through how they treat you. That's how true love heals. It doesn't fix you. It reminds you that you were never broken. It helps you see yourself through eyes that recognize your value, even on the days you can't. So, when you find someone who doesn't just look at you but sees you, your light, your shadows, your heart, don't take that lightly. Because being truly seen and still loved, that's one of the rarest gifts this world ever gives. True love doesn't want you to stay the same. It wants you to grow. It wants you to become more of who you're meant to be, not less of it. Because love that's real doesn't keep you stuck. It pushes you forward. It doesn't clip your wings to keep you close. It helps you learn how to fly higher, even if that means one day you'll soar beyond where you started. That's what makes true love so powerful. It doesn't hold you hostage to who you were. It believes in who you can become. See, there's a kind of love that wants comfort more than connection. The kind that says, don't change, don't evolve, just stay the same because that's how I know you. But that's not love, that's control. True love understands that growth is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes painful. But it also knows that staying the same for the sake of keeping someone comfortable will eventually suffocate both of you. Love that's built to last makes room for growth. It adapts. It learns. It evolves right alongside you. When someone truly loves you, they don't compete with your potential. They celebrate it. They don't feel threatened by your growth. They're inspired by it. They want to see you win, not just for them, but for you. They'll challenge you when you start to settle. They'll remind you of your strength when you forget it, and they'll believe in your dreams even on the days when you stop believing in yourself. That's not pressure. That's partnership. And it's not always easy, because growth in love means facing uncomfortable truths about yourself, about the other person, and about the relationship. It means realizing that real love isn't about staying who you were when you met. It's about learning how to keep choosing each other as you both become new versions of yourselves. That's what separates temporary attraction from lasting connection. True love says, I see where you're going, and I want to grow with you. It means you can have hard conversations about ambition, about healing, about change, without fear of losing the relationship in the process. Because real love doesn't just adjust to your growth, it supports it. It becomes the kind of foundation that gives you strength, not the kind that keeps you grounded out of fear. And here's something people don't talk about enough. Growth doesn't always look pretty. Sometimes it's pulling away for a moment to rediscover yourself. Sometimes it's learning how to unlearn patterns that no longer serve you. Sometimes it's breaking through the walls you built before you even knew what love really was. And true love will understand that. It won't guilt you for growing. It won't take your self-improvement personally. It'll stand beside you through it because it knows that when you grow individually, the love grows too. That's why the best relationships aren't built on comfort zones. They're built on encouragement. On two people willing to challenge each other, support each other, and hold each other accountable in the most loving way possible. True love doesn't want to keep you small just so it can feel secure. It wants to see you rise because it takes pride in your light, not ownership of it. And when you've got someone who pushes you, not to control you, but to stretch you, you start realizing that love isn't about finding someone who completes you. It's about finding someone who reminds you that you were already complete and helps you unlock the parts of yourself you didn't even know were there. That's the kind of love that doesn't just grow with you. It grows through you. The kind that doesn't hold you back, but pushes you forward every single day. True love doesn't always need to be loud to be real. It's not always fireworks, grand gestures, or big declarations. It's quiet. It's steady. It's the small, consistent moments that speak louder than words ever could. You'll find it in the way someone looks at you when you're not saying anything, in the way they remember the details you thought no one noticed, in the way they make ordinary days feel safe. Because true love doesn't need to perform, it simply exists. We've been taught to believe that love has to be dramatic to be deep, that if it's not passionate, unpredictable, or constantly exciting, it's not real. But the truth is, the loudest love isn't always the strongest. Sometimes the most powerful kind of love is the one that whispers instead of shouts. It's the kind that doesn't beg for attention. It gives reassurance through presence. It's in the quiet text that says, "I'm here." The steady voice that says, "We'll be okay," and the gentle touch that says, "You're safe." See, loud love is easy to notice, but quiet love is easy to trust. Loud love wants the world to see it. Quiet love just wants you to feel it. It's not about how much noise it makes. It's about how much peace it brings. It doesn't need to be shown off or proven. It proves itself every day through consistency, through care, through showing up even when no one's watching. True love isn't always passionate arguments followed by passionate makeups. It's learning how to disagree without tearing each other apart. It's the calm in the chaos, the stability in uncertainty. It's not about constant highs. It's about balance. It's knowing that no matter what happens, you've got a safe place to land. That's what gives love its power. It's not how loud it starts, it's how steady it stays. Sometimes, the quietest love moments are the ones that stay with you the longest. Like when someone holds your hand without a word, and suddenly you feel understood. When they check in just to make sure you're okay, not because they have to, but because they care. When they show patience instead of pressure, kindness instead of control. That's what real love looks like. It doesn't need to shout to be heard. It's felt. Deeply. Silently. And you start to realize that peace doesn't mean it's boring. It means it's safe. It means you don't have to question where you stand. You don't have to constantly wonder if you're enough. You don't have to fight to be seen. The love that's meant for you will never make you chase it. It will meet you where you are, quietly, with open hands. When someone truly loves you, they don't just tell you. They show you. In the smallest, most consistent ways. They're there when you need them, even when you didn't ask. They protect your heart without needing credit for it. They give without keeping score. And that's how you know it's real. It's not temporary. It's not conditional. It's not performative. It's genuine. So if you find yourself in a love that's not loud, but steady, that doesn't constantly demand attention, but always gives you peace, hold on to it. Because true love doesn't need to be seen by everyone. It just needs to be felt by the one who matters. And when you feel it, really feel it, you'll know it's real.